it can happen to them. But no one is exempt from child drowning incidents. It's important that there be adult supervision at all times to ensure that this doesn't happen to you or your loved ones.
It can happen to anybody. It could have easily happened to me had I been out here.
It doesn't take hours. It takes a few seconds, a matter of a minute.
A few years ago, Lila was cooking while her husband was in the backyard working on a home improvement project. Their 2 children were playing just feet away from him when they got the scare of their lives.
I was working on building this outdoor bar, countertop type area with a neighbor, and was periodically checking for heads, all right, got both the kids, got the dog, everybody's okay. And, one time I turned around and I couldn't find, I was missing somebody. And I happened to glance down at the pool and see, maybe a 6 to 8 inch section of his calf muscle in the back of his shoe, with his foot facing down in the pool. The rest of his body and whatnot was covered up by the inflatable alligator raft. At that point, of course, panic set in and jumped in, moved the raft, got him up onto the pavers, and at that point, my neighbor who was with me saw what was going on and yelled for my wife to call 911. He wasn't breathing. His eyes were closed. He was really, really bloated and white, pale in the face. His lips had already turned purple. Wasn't breathing at all.
I remember what he looked like, what my son looked like. Very, very bloated, very purplish, whitish. I was very, very angry because, to kind of use a, kind of corny term, it wasn't on my watch. It happened on my husband was the person responsible at the time.
So you wanted to get her with the family around the pool?
Yeah. Sean and his family were one of the lucky ones. His son survived thanks to CPR training he received. Unfortunately, this isn't the case for everyone. Between 2005 and 2007, there were a total of 21 drowning deaths of children 5 and under in Broward County alone. Statistics show that for every child who drowns, 4 others are hospitalized for near drowning, and as many as 3 suffer brain damage.
There's not a day that goes by that you don't hear about somebody drowning, whether it be an adult or a child.
I grieve every single time I see a news article that, a child has died, much less a drowning. It hits home a little bit more.
Toddlers often follow their natural curiosity and can be out of your sight and in the pool, canal, bathtub, and even the toilet within seconds. Alarms, fences, and pool covers prevent drowning accidents almost completely, but the number one safety method is constant adult supervision.
Had we had a pool fence, it likely would have been down that night because we were out here. And the dog was swimming and the kids were playing around. Just because you're outside or just because a child's around you you need not take for granted that they're safe. You really have to be much more, aware of what they're doing.
As parents or caregivers, you can add a level of security by taking CPR classes and teaching your own children how to swim.
The city of Coral Springs has a comprehensive Learn to Swim program. We teach individuals from 6 months old all the way up to adults on a year-round basis. In regards to drowning prevention, we kind of take a multi-layer approach, the first being pool barriers, the second being supervision, which is key, and third being water safety.
For more information on CPR and swimming lessons, call the Pediatric Drowning Prevention Task Force at 954-344-3344 or visit watersafekids.org, where you can even share your story.